This is the Honor 8 Pro. This is David from Australia's Instagram account. David entered our Winner P10 competition and suggested that we cook while reviewing a phone. Now on first thought, we weren't really sure that we could pull it off. What's cooking got to do with smartphones? But actually we figured there was some major overlap, so we decided to give it a go. And so today you're going to learn a couple of things. First off, how good a phone is the Honor 8 Pro, and second off, how to make macaroons using the Happy Pears recipe. Now the Honor 8 Pro looks sweet as. It is just 7mm thin, and you've also got an infrared blaster at the top, so it's a very good looking TV remote control. Blasted metal around the back, glass front, really rich in hand feel. The metal back curves beautifully into the sides, as you can see right there, and generally speaking this phone gets a massive design thumbs up. Given the fact it's 5.7 inches, it'll probably be a bit big for some people, but everyone who watches this channel knows I like my big phones, and I like this one. Now let's talk about the screen. 5.7 inches, Quad HD resolution, IPS screen technology. It looks exceptional. What's also very cool about it is there are a couple of things that make it stand out. You've got eye comfort mode, but it's the next level of eye comfort mode from Huawei. So you can do things like actually customize the color temperature, so it's not just on or off. What's also even cooler, outdoor viewability. It like ramps up the brightness, ramps up the saturation and vibrance when you're outdoors. And while that's very good, you can see the screen outdoors without much trouble, it does get hyper vibrant and saturated, so distorts the colors quite heavily. Now let's jump into the ingredients list. To make our macaroons today, we're going to need 120 grams of desiccated coconut, 60 mils of golden syrup or honey or maple syrup. Maple syrup will taste the best. Honey was going to be good, but golden syrup obviously is the cheapest of the lot and is still vegan. You can see we've also got 50 grams of ground almonds, 55 grams of coconut oil, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That was handheld full HD. There's no image stabilization in 4K, and I think you'll agree, even full HD, a little bit too wobbly in video for my liking, though there was some zoom in there. We'll take a look at video in more detail a bit later. This audio is being recorded across an iPhone 7 Plus and an Honor 8 Pro to give you an idea as to how the mics stack up in the dedicated recording apps. Now we're going to mix the ingredients, filming on a DSLR and on the Honor 8 Pro. First, mix the dry ingredients. That's the coconut and the ground almonds. So just give it a bit of a stir so it's all evenly dispersed. Next up, mix the wet ingredients into it. Now, if you are using golden syrup like I was, golden syrup can get quite sticky, so microwave it for a little bit and then it will loosen up. So just drop that in there, get the spoon to scoop everything out. And done with that, and the melted coconut oil, and finally the vanilla extract. Now you can mix all of those up into a separate container before you mix them, but me personally, I'm a bit lazy. I just do it all in here, and it's never failed me before. As you can see, mixing all that up one last time, and that is how easy this recipe is. Now, because there are no eggs in this or anything that you can't eat raw, you could actually just grab a spoon and eat this straight. But I would recommend holding out, waiting, and getting it into the oven, which you want to have preheated. On the subject of the Honor 8's camera, it's got two 12 megapixel sensors around the back. So on paper, it is exactly the same as the Honor 8, but in reality, it's got some new algorithms that make it perform better in low light. f2.2 aperture as well. Just taking a standard picture, detail is good, on point, with no optical image stabilization on board. You do have to consciously hold your hand a little bit steadier, but I found that it was very comparable across conditions with the Huawei P10 Plus, even though that has image stabilization and an f1.8 lens. In low light, the P10 Plus does edge ahead, but it isn't really like that huge difference. But what is a huge difference is when you come to record video. Now, that video you will have seen was recorded in 4K, and it probably looks very good because lighting's not too bad here, and on top of that it was on a tripod. But 4K video that's recorded on this thing doesn't use the digital electric image stabilization. The option isn't fired up. So if you record full HD, you can see there is an option to switch stabilizer on and off. That means that unless you want to record full HD, then this will be hampered with regards to video by comparison to the optical image stabilized Mate 9 P10 and P10 Plus. Now you can see I've got 6 macaroons out of this. I'm now comparing the Honor 8 Pro against an iPhone 7 Plus. So the iPhone mic's notoriously quite weak. Hopefully the Honor 8 Pro mic stacks up better. If you want to get more than 6 macaroons done, then use a smaller vessel. I use this glass. You can use an egg cup or just make more mix. Now 140 degrees, we can stick these into the oven. They go in for 10 minutes and then turn them around after 10 minutes for another 10 minutes and then a final 5 minutes so they can dry out that little bit more. What's exceptionally good about filming and shooting on the Honor 8 Pro is the fact you've got manual controls in both camera and video. That's really handy when sticking your phone in front of an oven, because manual focus means that rather than focus on the front of the oven door, you can actually focus on the thing that you are baking. Anyone who's tried to do exactly what I'm doing now will know full well that this can be a pain point. While waiting for the macaroons to cook, the Honor 8 Pro can do some pretty fun stuff. So I took a load of pictures of myself from some different angles or a video, and it turned me into a mini-me. Now we've seen this in third-party apps before, but this uses the dual cameras as well, so should technically be a little bit better. Once it kind of gets you up in plaid and jeans, you can dress yourself up and swap out your hairstyles as well, and then make gifs of yourself doing some pretty stupid stuff. Once the macaroons are out of the oven, they have to set before you can cover them with chocolate. Thankfully, the Honor 8 Pro box doubles up as a VR headset to keep you entertained. It's not the best VR headset that we've used. The distance between the Honor 8 and the Honor 8's kind of eyepieces, for me personally, needed to be a little bit closer, but what you end up with is still a value add out of the box that doubles up as a Google Cardboard viewer. That Kirin 960 processor benchmarks well, 127,000 in Antutu. That isn't mind-blowing, it's not going to be top of the rung, but what it is top of the rung in is Geekbench. So Antutu focuses more on GPU. Geekbench scores 5500 and benchmarks better than Samsung Galaxy Note 7, S7, etc. So awesome performance, especially given the fact you're not necessarily paying full-blown flagship buck for this bad boy. Running Android 7 and Emotion UI 5.1, we've covered this pretty extensively, and it's the same experience we've seen on the P10 and the Mate 9. Very solid, improved stability over older versions of Emotion UI, and with Android you've got tons of app support as well. And with its 4000 milliamp battery, this is well up to the task of staying alive the entire while you aim to do something like bake a bunch of macaroons. And we are done. The macaroons look good. The Honor 8 Pro has fared very well. I'd say the definite highlights of that design and that display, both exceptional. The camera is also very good. It isn't a low light in spite of the fact it doesn't have OIS on board. Monochrome pictures look stunning with its dedicated monochrome sensor, and video looks good until you jump into 4K and have some shaky hands. With excellent performance, storage and battery life, £474 is not cheap for a phone like this, but it is definitely still good value given this is top tier in so many respects. And as you probably saw in the slow-mo section, I covered the bottoms and drizzled chocolate on the macaroons. So not only do they taste better, but it also gives them extra stability, because the bigger you make them, the more crumbly and all over the place they are. So now you know how the Honor 8 Pro stacks up. It's an awesome phone, and hopefully you know how you can make your own macaroons. Vegan, gluten-free, crowd pleaser, and oh, they taste really good. Okay, I'm done. Bye.